Kim Jeong, born 1982. This novel is a summary of the everyday struggles of an average South Korean woman. It shows the existence of rampant sexism and inequality. This novel, written by the author Jo Nam-joo in 2016, kickstarted the 4B movement, a movement that has grabbed the attention of not only South Korea but the global community. And today, we will look into the origin and analyze the 4B movement or the Four No's movement. B6U, Bikulsan, Pyeon, and Bihun. These are the watchwords of the 4B movement. To elaborate further, women in the movement are refusing sex with men, refusing to bear children, refusing to date, and refusing to get married to men. The movement was inspired by the Escape the Corset campaign started in 2017 and was led by the photographer Jieun Lee. She photographed women who shaved their heads as a form of resistance against the South Korean beauty standard. The 4B movement includes YouTubers like Lena Bae, who's a beauty influencer and discusses the unattainable beauty standards, and by Kana and Yonsei Jeong, who discusses feminism and promotes live alone life. The movement rejects the objectification of women's bodies and the notion that it exists only for reproductivity. It encourages women to say no to heterosexual marriages and relationships and having kids. It also holds a space for self-help discussions and ways to invest financially for the betterment of the individual lives of the women. Due to the economic and financial crisis, the younger generation begin to fiercely compete against each other for university seats and jobs in the wake of the reality of growing housing costs. By the start of 2013, women had surpassed men in college enrollment, and today, nearly 3/4 of the women are enrolled in higher education. This changed the way men and women saw each other. Hitherto, women were expected to leave the workforce once they got married or started a family. But now, women started to be their equal competitors in a land where jobs were already scarce. A feminist scholar, Euisol Jeong, noted the trend of troll feminism in her doctoral thesis. As per Jeong, men started to label college-educated women kimchin-yo or kimchi women and stereotyping them as selfish, vain, and obsessed with themselves while exploiting their partners. In 2014 and 2015, ILBI, a misogynistic and anti-feminist community, also gained prominence. As a response to violence against women, and more specifically domestic violence, Meghalaya, a prominent feminist website at the time, coined the term Hanamchum, or the Korean male bug, which stereotyped Korean men as ugly, sexist, and obsessed with buying sex. The 4B movement is much more than not about dating men. There is a strong anti-feminist rhetoric in South Korea that blames women for the low birth rate, but that is far from the truth. High cost of living, unaffordable housing, abysmal job prospects, long working hours, and a workplace environment that is extremely hostile to women has contributed to low birth rate. Companies do not hesitate to take an unfavorable approach to women, especially pregnant women. They are passively pressured to quit their jobs. The social norms also discourages women from rejoining the workforce as familial expectations require them to quit and take up only household responsibilities. There is no room for personal aspirations once you have a family. South Korea uses traditional institutions like marriage and motherhood as an agency to control and oppress women. Women in Korea earn 31% less than men, which is the largest gender pay gap in the rich world, and they are still discriminated against in the workplace. KB Kookmin Bank, KEB Hana Bank, and Shinhan Bank, some of the largest banks in South Korea, had rejected the applications of women and tampered with the cutoff marks to favor men. In 2016, Shinhan Bank, the success ratio of males to female was 3:1. Even the judiciary has a very lukewarm response to such discriminations. The court, in the case of KB Kookmin Bank, which was found guilty of eliminating 112 women applicants, ordered a fine of only $4,500. Such a nominal fine is an indication that in the end, the companies still get their way. The government's reaction to this movement has been unsupportive. President Yoon Suk channeled men's frustration about this topic into his political gains and he blamed feminism for the low birth rate. Yoon's domestic agenda includes abolishing the Ministry of Gender Equality, which has been active since 2001, triggering protests by feminists who want the government to protect women's rights rather than hinder them. Women's rights in Korea took a hit when the government removed the term gender equality from school textbooks. Women in South Korea live in a highly unsafe situation. Based on a survey conducted in 2016, it was determined that 41.5% of women experience intimate partner violence, significantly higher than the global average of 30%. A BBC report compiled by South Korea's national police agencies shows 7,152 stalking arrests have been made since the stalking law took effect last year, but only 5% have been detained. Police applications to the courts for detention of suspects were denied on 1 in 3 times. Molka, or the act of upskirting and filming women in bathrooms, is very common. Stalking and sexual harassment are also on the rise. To make matters worse, according to the law, the men who are accused of stalking can even ask the victims to drop charges. In such a situation, it is only natural that a reaction against such a deeply unequal society happens. From 2013 to 2018, more than 30,000 cases of filming with use of hidden cameras were reported to police. The police, on the other hand, are highly unsympathetic and often bully the victims. Even if the perpetrators are brought to court, they are offered meager punishments. South Korea's fast internet makes it possible to download and share photos quickly and even sell them to online customers. A strong example of such an incident is when in 2016, a young woman was murdered in a public bathroom in Seoul. The murderer admitted to the police that he killed her because women had always ignored him. Despite the clear statement of the perpetrator, the police refused to label it as a hate crime. This sparked massive protests in Korea as women unleashed their anger and disappointment over what took place on an online feminist message boards, communities, and chat forums. Unlike traditional Korean feminism, which was largely limited to universities, NGOs with government support, and other elite spaces, this wave of digital feminism attracted women of all backgrounds, including working-class women. Another major problem in the country is the lack of proper and adequate anti-stalking laws. This can be well elaborated with the Seoul subway murder case that shook the nation. During a night shift at the subway station, a 28-year-old was assaulted by a 31-year-old attacker who waited for an hour outside the toilets wearing gloves and a disposable shower cap before stabbing her to death. The shocking part is that it happened the day before he was due to be sentenced for stalking her. He was fired and arrested in the previous year after she reported him. Despite an investigation by the police and a court request to detain him, he was never imprisoned or given a restraining order. She was placed under protective custody but later released as there was nothing to report. There are numerous cases of high-profile murders of women and revenge porn. One of the atrocities that have made the lives of Korean women a living hell is spy cam sex crimes. The amount of unlawful filming in South Korea has increased dramatically since 2011, rising from 1,300 incidents annually to over 6,000 cases in 2017. Thousands of women have participated in protests in central Seoul over the last 4 months under the banner "My Life is Not Your Porn." Seoul's government has set up an inspection team of women that checks 20,000 public toilets daily, with plans to inspect tens of thousands of private toilets as well. However, many people say the efforts aren't enough. The response of the police has been lukewarm as well, where they're slow to action and not serious in their methods. The male beauty standards that stifle women and their confidence are also something that should be necessarily talked about. Beauty is a business in South Korea. According to South Korea's National Youth Police Institute, 22% of women say that they have had plastic surgery, solidifying South Korea's reputation as the plastic surgery capital of the world. Recently, the trends have uttered a blow as women have begun to embrace their most comfortable selves and reject the patriarchal notion of beauty. Female students have started to wear pants and suits instead of skirts for their graduation photos. Women have resorted to destroying expensive makeup and beauty products or cutting their hair short before posting pictures on social media and encouraging others to do the same as they embrace dismantling the patriarchal notions one by one. Even though it is unclear how many women currently follow the movement, the number is pegged at 5,000 to 50,000. The Escape the Corset movement is one of the most resounding acts of taking back their power. In this movement, women are encouraged to reject the existing model of standardized femininity and the myth of beauty. Women are advised not to spend money on clothing or makeup, cut their hair, or engage in any acts that contribute to the beauty industry on the first Sunday of each month. According to Lena Young, a sociology professor at Seoul's Chungang University, many women have resorted to this movement to practice feminism in their everyday lives. The movement began when Lena Bay, a YouTube star, posted a video titled, "I Am Not Pretty," in which she applied and removed makeup while sharing hateful comments she had received in the past regarding her looks, as she assured her viewers that it's okay not to put an extensive effort in your appearance all the time. This deconstructed the idea that makeup was not power but a tool to appease and play to the impossible beauty standards set by men. There has been talk of expanding the movement to other countries, which would change the traditional gender roles and spark discussions about feminism and social expectations that tend to weigh down women worldwide. Indeed, it is clear that the 4B movement wants to distance itself from the oppressive structure of patriarchy. That's all for the video. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like our work, please subscribe to our channel and do consider contributing on our Patreon page. The link is in the description box.
Like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon to never miss an update.